Okay.
I won't pile it up with garbage.
There we
I want
go.
to slow down anyway. I don't want two or three songs anymore. It's too much.
Oh, I get that. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, Gary. It's great to see you and good to see you, YouTube chat. Today, we're going to go over some of what we're hitting in today's lesson. And then after that, we'll do some warm ups. And then after that, we can hit some pitch practice so that we can improve your musicianship. And lastly, we'll apply everything that we do to a song. So here's what this looks like. The terms and the singer distinctions are here to help us know what we're doing and then how to fix issues when we hear them in our voice. So we'll come back to these later. But before we hit our daily vocal routine, Gary, you sent me a logic file for us to look at and kind of critique. You were just mentioning something about the harmonies and duplicated audio. Can you explain or expand on that just a little bit more so I can have some context?
Well, yeah, some guys use a doubling when they're playing live. And it doubles their voice automatically. Well, there's a neat trick if you're using Logic. You just cut out the section where you would like to have it doubled, where you would normally have a harmony, and then you can see that bottom one is just offset a few cents to the right. You can offset it to the right, you can offset it to the left, and it makes a doubling effect, and it takes the place of a harmony line if you can't sing harmony or if you need to put something together real quick.
Cool. No, that's great. I think that's a great way of creating some additional layering to your voice. The other option is you could come up to your effects chain right here, and you could add a light chorus effect, and that would give a similar kind of vibe. But either way, I'm excited to hear how that harmony goes. Great. So then let's go right back and let's focus on our daily vocal routine so that we can stretch and strengthen. Have you already done your daily vocal routine today?
Yeah, I ran through it.
Beautiful. So then what we'll do instead of doing the whole thing, what I'll do is I'll just play one little exercise here and there, see if you can copy it, and then I'll give you some feedback because it's one thing to just work out your voice, but it's another thing to work out the right muscles in the right way. So I'm going to pull up a couple of these real
Voice
quick, and
start.
I'm going to see if we can do our first one, which is our mum mum. I want to see how our connection to our voice buzz is going.
Number
So here's what
one,
that sounds
voice
like.
buzz, low stretch. Mum 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 mum.
Cool. And that's kind of where we are. By the way, this is from our Singing Secrets course for YouTube chat. There will be a 10% discount coupon that is available only until our last lesson of the day, which ends at 5:30 p.m. EST. So if you want to check that out, please feel free. But Gary, let's jump right in to our Voice Buzz Low Stretch and see if we can get a full connection to Voice Buzz.
Mum 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 mum.
Yeah. What I love about this is that it shows that you have full connection to getting a lot of tone, but you don't have to use very much volume. That's what voice buzz is. So when we connect that to our chest voice, we're just trying to teach our voice to be more efficient. So I love the way that you approach that. Let's see if we can jump right into a hey, hey. The point of this is to be able to stretch super high with very low pressure. So let's try the hey, heys. I want to see what happens. Last week, our main goal was to get more crackle in our voice, making sure that we don't slip into head voice. So my two rules of thumb here are if you can't crackle, it either means that you are too loud or too high in pitch. So me first, then you. Instead of playing it off of the daily vocal routine, I'll just do it in person here. So that's going to be, hey, hey, hey. It's almost like I'm whispering. I'm barely making any tone, but it allows me to crackle and stay connected to my chest voice. So, hey, 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 hey. Let's try something like that. Super low volume.
Hey, 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 hey. Easy to do a little bit now.
There we go. Yeah, I like that we did two things. One, we lowered the volume, and two, you also didn't go so high to where you slip into your head voice, but rather you kept connected to your chest voice all the way up with full relaxation. What this does is it gives your voice more flexibility, and I think you did a perfect job at stretching. Hey, how do you know that your body is actually stretching? Like how do you know when you're getting a stretch?
Well, you can feel it's kind of at its limit.
That's right. The way that you know that you're getting a stretch is that you feel it. So if you're not feeling it, then you're not getting a stretch. So how high should I go is a question that I get from a lot of people. Well, as high as you can without slipping into head voice or pushing or changing anything about your technique. We want to have a full range of motion, just like you just did, Gary. And when you apply that over, let's say, a month, you're going to find that your chest voice, your natural speaking voice, can go higher. Why? Because you've stretched it. So good for you. I'm going to skip a few of these here because you've been doing a really great job. We're just spot checking. We're just giving you a way that you can have some feedback to continue doing these better and better each week. So I'm going to actually, we're going to say keep using less volume firstly, and still I'd love more crackle, making sure we don't slip into head voice. That's fine. I would love to hear the 5 vowel light register connection. And by the way, the reason why we do this, like, I know that we get in the weeds about like, oh, let's do it this way and let's reduce the volume and let's crackle a lot and all those things. The reason why we do this is so that we don't voice crack in a song, right? Like whenever we do this 5 vowel light register connection, that's just getting from head to chest and chest to head. That point of transition, right, where it's really hard to control what happens. The reason why people's voices break is because they don't have this area of their voice stabilized and built up. So this is the way to do that. This is the way to never voice crack again. So let's try that on all 5 vowels here: a, e, o, u, and we're reducing volume for you, not on the way down. You're doing a great job on the way down, but on the way up. So me first, then you. I'll start with and then you can do all 5 vowels. Here it is. It's ah. Lots of crackle all the way down. Back up. It'll be ah. And as you can hear, there's no push. And there's also no voice crack, right? I'm not doing ah. There's no difference in my tone. The way that I'm connecting is by using a little bit of voice buzz or crackle. Very, very light in volume, super relaxed all the way. Your turn. Try it.
Now, do I start in head voice?
Yes, sir. Great question.
All right.
Good. Lower volume. It's better. Let's go to A this time. Let's almost make it a whisper volume so that we can really, really focus on just relaxing through that break so we can slowly build up stability. So let's try this. I'm almost whispering. And then on the way back up, same thing. I'm going to be so light that I just crackle it. It should feel like nothing if done properly. Let's try it. Yeah. So on the way back up, we heard a gear shift. We heard that
Sure
transition.
did.
So
Yeah.
the way to get rid of it is literally just using way less volume. Like, try here, let's make the softest sound humanly possible by your voice in order to get in order to get that transition right. And then slowly we'll be able to add volume over time. So let's try that just on an A. It's a little cleaner. Can you get a little closer to the mic so that we get your tone coming all the way through? One more time. It's closer. Good for you. So over the course of the week, we want to reduce the volume to almost nothing. Really, I think that's going to help on the way up. You're doing a perfect job on the way down, but on the way up, it's we've really got to focus on getting literally no volume at all, so that way we can kind of get up in there in that high chest voice register. If you want to know how it feels, it's exactly like the hey hey right here. So doing these exercises sort of in tandem, I think, is a really positive thing. If we can apply what we have from these exercises in our voice starter category and apply them to our voice connector category, I think it's going to make a big difference in the way that we sing real songs. And that's why we do this on all 5 vowels, because you're not just going to hum. It's easier to do on a hum, because humming is an easier sound to make than a, e, o, u. So when you hum, it's real easy to do, it's real easy to connect, and then we want to apply that to the 5 vowels that we use in singing. So that's kind of the point here. We want to really focus on getting as light volume as humanly possible. Let's see if we can build. Do we want to do the B builder or the buzz builder? I'm going to leave it up to you today, Gary. What would you like to hit?
I use the buzz builder. I need buzz help.
Hey, great. Let's do the buzz builder. This one's on all 5 vowels. So let's try from a low starting pitch. We want to connect this to our really, really connected full tone voice buzz. That's going to sound like this. This is in our voice builder category. So let's do ba, bay. Let's try that. Keep all the vocal strength.
Ba.
There we go.
Bay. Bee. Bo.
Good connection, Gary.
Boo.
Perfect. What I love that you're doing so well on this is that your higher notes are the same volume and the same tone as your lower notes. The point of these builders is to build your connection to your voice buzz so that you can get an extremely large amount of tone for a very small amount of effort or volume. Beautiful. So then we would take this in our warm-ups and of course go much higher in our starting pitch for the second and third time that we do that. So let me just show you what that actually sounds like.
Ba.
Here's the low starting pitch.
Bay.
Chest voice, medium volume, pressurized buzzy tone, and then connect fully to the voice buzz at each
medium
vowel.
starting pitch.
Then we'd go a little higher.
Ba.
And it shows each vowel as we go along. And that's it. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Hopefully that that will help us over the course of the week build some of your connection and strength to your voice buzz. Beautiful. After that, we have some of our pitch practice. And what I want to do is I want to see if we can maybe I want to do pitch matching chords, but I want to do it together here live because it's a little clunky to do over Zoom here. So let me turn on the piano and I'm going to play a chord. I'm going to actually show that on screen here. Great. Okay, so I'm going to play a chord and I want to see if you can hear the single note within the chord and then blend your notes. So let's see. I'm going to play... Oops, not that high. Let's do this note. Can you sing na?
Na.
Perfect. So then keep holding that note in a second. And what I'll do is I'll play the rest of the chord around you so you can hear how that fits in. Try it.
Na.
Beautiful. And the reason why we do this is because every time that you sing a song, it's going to be with some sort of accompaniment, whether that be a piano or a guitar or a karaoke track or whatever. Every time that you sing, it'll be along the context of chords. So if you can hear your note and you can blend with it, then that's going to help you sing more in tune. By the way, intonation just refers to how close you come to the note that you mean to sing. So let's keep moving here. The interval practice we can work out later. We're going to come back to this because you had mentioned something about harmonies, and that is how a singer can develop their harmonies, is learning about how to measure the distance from the note that they are singing in the melody to a different interval where our harmony starts. So we'll work on that together. The chord progression matching is just an application. It applies all of the skills in interval practice and pitch matching with our chords, and it slams it all into one. We had worked on Against the Wind last time, but let's go ahead and get our new song title. What is it? 400
horsepower.
That's
Sleigh.
so cool. 400 horsepower sleigh. There we go. Okay, so I'm excited to see what this song has in store for us. Oh, Gary, I listened to just a little bit of this earlier. It is the cutest song. So let me jump right in straight to where your vocals start.
We've been cooped up in the cabin now for 3 long days, watching that blizzard through the window pane.
Through the window pane. Gary, I love that what I'm hearing is that your tone is incredibly strong, but it doesn't sound like you're yelling. It just sounds like you're talking, but it has a lot of aggression or a lot of velocity to the tone or intensity to the tone. Your pitches are great so far. And I think your registration, of course, we're supposed to be using chest voice, so you're doing a great job on that. Your rhythm is correct. All of the singer distinctions are sounding great, and your intonation is locking in fairly well with the chords. So let's keep going here. So far, so good.
Weatherman says that it ain't letting up. Well, I reckon that's why Santa brought me a truck. So baby, slip your coat on. What you say we go? 4-low dashing down a snow-covered road. Snuggled up beside me in my red Chevrolet. We can go riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh.
Yeah, overall, I really like this. The biggest thing that I'm going to suggest is that we take a look at the very, very, very end here on the word sleigh. We want to make sure that we're really powering through that. Here's what I'm hearing.
400 horsepower sleigh.
I'm hearing 400 horsepower sleigh. What I'd like to hear is 400 horsepower sleigh. Really keeping our natural talking voice in that a little more. Can we try that live real quick? Just on
400 horsepower sleigh.
There it is. 400 horsepower sleigh. That's exactly right. Love that so far. Your tone has been really strong all the way throughout. It was literally just at the last note that I heard it fall off a little bit. This is amazing, Gary. This is excellent work so far.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey, hey, hey. Riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh.
Hey, good for you. So the second time that we sang sleigh, we did not let off the breath pressure. By the way, the only two techniques that I even teach are literally voice buzz and breathe, hold, sing. The breathe, hold, sing pressure is just us holding in our breath instead of going 400 horsepower sleigh and letting our breath off. Breathe, hold, sing is taking it in, breathing, holding that pressure in my stomach, singing my phrase 400 horsepower sleigh. Then once I'm done, letting the breath go, which I think you did a great job of.
100 horsepower sleigh.
400 horsepower sleigh. Great, excellent breath pressure there. So far so good. We'll take a look at this harmony in just a second. I want to listen to your lead part, and then we can pick that apart by a little bit. And then after that, I would love to talk about how we can turn this melody into a harmony, and I think that's going to be really, really easy to do. And by the way, I think you had sent me a chord chart. Yes, you did.
So the blue type is the harmony. The blue type.
Sure. Okay. Oh, sure. When you mean to do the harmony. Okay, I see what you're saying. Great. So then it's what I'm really interested in here, Gary, when we do the harmonies, we're going to be taking a look at the chords because that's how we find our harmony. I just want to quickly go back to our Google Doc and show you this. So whenever we do interval practice, it helps us find the distance between notes. And then if we know how to blend with our chord, it will auto lock or almost magnetize or auto tune our voice to the actual note of the chord that we're supposed to be in. And then when we combine these things, we can get a harmony if we do it well. So,
well, if we start out on a third of a chord, and I'm using that as like the root of the harmony, it's hard for me to move to the fifth. I go right back to the first or something.
Sure.
I can't keep the intervals stepped correctly, so
sure.
That's the problem.
No, that makes total sense. Since I just talked about it, let's actually keep listening to your lead a little bit later. We'll go ahead and take a look at this harmony business now. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and line up your line these up to be perfectly in time here. So let's take a listen. I know this is just the same vocal here, so let's take a listen.
So baby, slip your coat on. What you say we go?
Okay, it does look like I didn't line it up 100% perfectly because we have a tiny bit of that phasing or that sort of doubling effect, but that's great. That's fine.
So baby, slip your coat on. What you say we go?
So let's take a look at that chord chart so we can figure out where we're supposed to be. So we're in an E chord. You're singing the 6th scale degree C sharp, right? And so what we need to do is we need to go 3 notes up, and we're going to do something crazy here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to actually auto-tune your voice to be the correct harmony so you can start to hear what to sing. And I'd like to, once I correct your voice to the right harmony, I want you to try it live to see if you can hold on to that part, because that's really what harmony singing is. It's just holding on to the part.
So baby, slip your coat on.
So baby, slip That is C sharp, B. Within the context of an E chord, we actually have to sing an E the whole time for your harmony. So, baby slip. Does that make sense? Like we have to hold that E. So let's see. I know it's going to sound funny, but this is a great way of starting to hear where our harmony is supposed to be. So babe is where we're going to be.
So babe,
So babe. There it is.
so baby, slip your coat.
That's it. So baby,
Slip your coat.
your coat on.
Why can't I just sing the root and then just transpose it up 3 or something?
Yeah, I know, right? It's a good thing to be able to practice our interval training this way because it makes you a better musician overall. But also, like, it's going to sound better if you can actually sing these live because we don't have to doctor them up and all those things.
So baby, slip your coat.
So you can see how it's now sounding like a harmony rather than just you singing the same notes.
Slip your coat on.
Coat. So coat on is the melody. What we want to do for the harmony, let me cut this real quick. What we want to do is put this up three notes. We probably want to put this up 3 notes as well. And then the on, we need to also put down up 3 notes from where we started.
Your coat on.
There it is. Look at that harmony.
So baby, slip your coat on.
So let's hear it in context of the music. Well, there we go.
Rock. So baby, slip your coat on.
That sounds so good in the context of the music. Now, in theory, over time, we're going to get so good at our interval training and our pitch matching with the chords that you'll be able to sing a real harmony in the real song. So let me show you what this actually looks like real quick. Let me bring up some of these links for some of these pitch practices. So, bay, bay. Do you know what that interval is off the top of your head, Gary? If you had to guess, bay, bay.
Oh, it's like a third or a minor third.
It's very close. Good. So we're kind of feeling that distance in our throat. Now we want to see if we can also pair that with the oral and visual learning, not kinesthetic. Kinesthetic's what you just did. You sang it. We also want to pair it with here it is. Let me see if I can find this. The oral meaning you hear the note, and then the visual meaning you see the note. So
Sing with piano.
here's the interval that you actually just sang. It's in a different key, but that's okay.
Hear it. Na na. Sing with me. Na na. Sing with.
So it's going to be a perfect fourth. Na na. Can we sing that? Just let's try it. I know you're going to be a little bit behind on the exercise, but that's totally fine. Try to do this right along with it. Here we go.
Na,
Na na. Sing with
na,
me. Na na. Sing with piano.
na, 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 na.
Nice. So that interval right there is a fourth. That's how far away our note is when it comes to our harmony here. Now it's an octave higher, but so instead of so baby, we gotta be so baby. It's nice and high, and you can do it in head voice if you feel like it, just to focus on the pitch rather than the registration and the technique. See, can you sing this? So baby, slip. Those 3 notes. Try that.
So baby, slip.
Good. It's close. I love that we sang the same note, but we got to sing a higher note. We got to sing, so baby slip. Try that.
So baby, slip.
Perfect. That is how you would sing this harmony.
So baby, slip your coat on.
So if I were to sing this live,
So baby, slip your coat on.
good. The only difference is we want to go back down that perfect fourth. So baby, slip your coat. And then we go down a minor third, coat on. So you can see how...
Baby, slip your coat on.
Yeah, Gary, good for you. So you can see how you practicing these intervals every single day helps you actually sing real music, because every song that you ever sing is made up of intervals, and of course, so are the harmonies. So if we can hear, see, and feel these intervals every day in our throat, in our ear, in our eye, that's going to help us sing these songs better, especially if we can also figure out where we are in the chord with our chord matching, our pitch matching with our chords. We can apply it and actually sing it. So I can do this live. I know this song. I've literally heard it for the first time today. So let's see. So baby, put your coat on.
What you say we go?
What you say we go? What you say we go? What you say we go?
Four low dashing down a
Four low dashing. What is that?
yeah, four low dashing down a snow-covered road. Four low dashing down a snow-covered road.
Yeah. Four low dashing on a snow-covered road. Right. So I'm taking what chord the instrumental is playing, and then I'm comparing it to where the melody is, and then I'm making my voice go up and match the chord about a third or a fourth higher. And that is the way that we can start learning how to do harmonies, is just trying it. I think the easiest way to get better at harmonies is just like humming along to songs and trying to see if you can find a note that fits within the chord that isn't the melody. You can't do anything wrong. As long as you're searching for it, your brain will slowly adapt and learn how to do these harmonies better. So
Right, I'll try to do this for next week, and I'll try to put a third up and see how it goes.
okay, I mean that would be fine. Or if you either way, you could just try to do it in person. That's actually how I started doing harmonies. You know what? I just want to quickly show you what that might look like. I'm gonna go to the good old YouTube here, and I'm just gonna randomly pick a random song here, and I've never heard this. The Afters, You Never Gave Up on Me. I've never heard this song. So if I listen to the melody, I can make up a harmony right on the spot. Ooh, they have lyrics on screen. That's great. Very helpful.
I've been everywhere.
So they're doing I've been everywhere. I can do I've been everywhere. Here it is.
I've been everywhere.
Or sorry, I've been everywhere.
Turning over stones.
Yeah, turn over stones.
Trying to find a place
Trying to find a place
to call my home.
to call
Try
my
to-
home.
Babe.
So, I mean, this is a song that I've never heard, but I can come up immediately with a harmony because I can hear the chords. Now, you don't have to know what chord they're on. You just have to be able to hear it and then match your voice to make sure that the note that you're choosing fits the chord, and it is also either a third higher or a third lower than the melody. And of course,
So it's a third higher, but you were in head voice, so it's actually an octave third, right?
No, it was just the third higher. He was singing high in his chest voice. I mean, sure, I could sing that in my chest voice if I wanted to, like, you know, fully invest into the vocal technique side of it. But when I'm just like testing out notes, I was just singing real like directly a third above him. So just because you're in head voice doesn't necessarily mean you're high. Head voice only refers to. That's a good point that you just brought up. Head voice doesn't mean the high voice. It only means the hooty voice. So I can sing this note in my head voice, but I can also sing it in my chest voice. The idea is that the chest voice and head voice are less about your range and more about your tone. Right? So like your chest voice sounds more like a natural speaking tone, while the head voice sounds more like a hooty or an owl-like voice. But I can also talk in my chest voice in that same register. So you get the
Sounds
idea.
better for harmony, hooty or chest?
It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. I mean, it depends on the song, and that's a fair question. I would say for this song, it would definitely be better. 400 horsepower sleigh would sound much better using your chest voice. That's because the harmony isn't so high to where it would really cost a lot of physical effort to be able to sing this note. So let's keep going here onto the next verse. Love how your voice is really relaxed and speech-like throughout so far. Nice job.
If we get too slippy, sliding, winding up in a ditch.
You know what? I want to point out something here. I want to brag on you. You went from a low note to a high note, and you really, like, you basically are at the same volume the entire time. There's not any huge dips or spikes in volume. You're just singing one tone and one volume throughout your entire voice. And I think that is such a great testament to the skill and the physical ability that your voice is built. Like, really, this is so cool that you can do this. Many singers cannot. They'll get real quiet and their low notes will kind of disappear. And then when they start getting to the high notes, they'll start yelling. But that doesn't make you sound better. Having one tone and one volume throughout your entire range is what we really want. And that's what our daily vocal routine gives you. And so our daily vocal routine is found within our Singing Secrets course. And for anyone watching, we have a 10% coupon for anyone who's watching YouTube Live. You can get a 10% off coupon in order to buy that course and make your own singing transformation. Okay, let's keep going here. So far, so good. Also, by the way, YouTube, if you're here and you want to chat, I'm going to be available for just a couple minutes right at the end after Gary's session ends, where I can answer questions. And we'll also be streaming 3 more additional lessons after this today. But I'm going to start a new stream for each one. So, okay, let's keep going with this verse.
If we get too slippy, sliding, winding up in a ditch, I
Nice.
got 35 tires, a chain, and a winch.
Yeah.
And who needs Rudolph's nose so bright when I get us where we're going with these KC lights? So
Wow. Yeah, your tone sounds like one person from the lowest note to the highest note. I think you did an amazing job of this. Let's keep going.
So baby, slip your coat on. What you say we go? 4 low dashing down a snow-covered road. Snuggled up beside me in my red Chevrolet.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start talking about style. I think if you were going to perform this live, the next thing I would do is, hey, do you play guitar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so something, are you familiar with pitch bends where you take a note and then you
Oh
just,
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's what I'd love to hear for these first notes. So you want to intentionally sing a little bit lower than the note that you are actually supposed to sing. You want to aim lower, and then you want to pitch bend it just like on the guitar up to your intended note. So baby, you see what I'm saying?
So
Baby.
baby, put your coat on.
Yeah. And then same thing here. Yes.
Slip your coat on. What you say?
Want you, right? Like that's the kind of idea that you don't have to do anything different as far as your vocal technique, but as far as the style, it really does something, and it makes it sound so much more fun, so much more engaging. Because like you might actually converse like that, like, hey, you know what, baby, put your coat on, right? Like watch the slow, right? It's just finding a way to emphasize the words that you're singing in a more speech-like and relatable manner. So let's keep moving here. This is really good.
4 low dashing down a snow-covered road. Snuggled up.
Yeah, snuggle like a. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, on the last words which I was working on, I tried to get either I scoop it or I drop it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to throw it on those first ones too. I'll get there.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be so cool to have it ramp up and then fall off. Or sometimes you can also kind of scoop up at the end. I hear that you're aiming for it on the word road.
Snow-covered road.
Snow-covered road. The only thing I'm going to give you advice on this is instead of going up to a random note, pick a letter name that you're going to go to, or maybe a solfege syllable, right? Like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Snow-covered road. So what you did before? Here, I'll show you. I got it covered here. We've got snow-covered road. We just kind of go higher. What I would recommend is snow-covered road, ending on this 3rd scale degree. Snow-covered road. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Instead of
So
going too high,
yeah.
we're just stopping on a part of the chord. How do you know when you're actually singing a note within the chord? Well, you will have built that skill already by doing the pitch matching with the chords, because I put you on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th chord degrees within this exercise. And when you do it every day, you're going to get used to it. So I'll bet you could do this perfectly on the first try. Snow-covered road, and then end on that G sharp. Try it.
Snow-covered road.
That's it. Yeah. And
But you know, there's a technique that I like too. That's snow-covered road.
oh yeah, sometimes it's really cool to just like let it go all the way up, almost to the point of like a yodel or a voice crack. That can also be a really effective way of going about it. But I would use that one like salad dressing. If you use too much, you're gonna ruin that salad, right? But but if you use it tastefully, snow covered road, right? Like that could be cool. I'm about it. I'm about it. But we just want to make sure
You're
we use
right.
it.
That is salad dressing. It gets really old fast.
Yes, indeed. Okay, let me keep going. This is excellent work, Gary.
Snuggled up beside me
Snuggled up beside me
in my red Chevrolet.
in my red Chevrolet. Yeah.
We can go right.
Ooh, yeah. You slid up on this one from Voice Buzz. That's it.
We can
Yeah,
go
love that.
riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh.
Nice.
Ho ho ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hey hey hey.
Hey. Yeah.
Riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh.
Beautiful tone all the way through. Yeah, I love your smoothness in this. So what I mean by your smooth, there are times that we have gaps in between the notes, and that's fine because that's not a gap in your wait for it. That's not a gap in your breath pressure. That's not a gap in your breathe hold sing. It's a gap in your musical phrasing. But what I hear you doing consistently is holding in that breath pressure, singing not to the finish line, like on the last note you give up and you say, okay, I'm done. But I hear you running through the finish line. 400 horsepower sleigh. We're running through the finish line on that last note, keeping your breath pressure held. Love it. This is how you create strong tone from the first note to the last note of your phrase. Excellent work so far. Wow.
Hear that fresh powder underneath these wheels. Pave some figure eights on a frozen hayfield.
Ooh, absolutely. So here is a secret that I think I just heard you say in parentheses when you sang this note. I heard that you flubbed the first maybe I don't know, less than a tenth of a second.
That thing is hard to phrase. A snow
Covered, whatever it is. What was that?
frozen hayfield.
Yeah. So I heard that Gary, you said in parentheses, I did not measure this note out 100% perfectly when I first started. I undershot. I was supposed to sing a perfect fourth, but it ended up being closer to a major third, right? So, but here is the beauty. You missed by a little bit, but because you are so consistent in blending your voice with the chords, that your voice snapped into the right note in the chord, because your voice is not okay with sitting outside of the chord. That's why we do this, is so that your voice can learn to blend with these chords. And so when you make a quote unquote mistake in a song, it's not a mistake. Right? Like you fixed it so quick that even though there was a little mistake in the fact that you misjudged the amount of distance that you needed the high note to the low note to go, it didn't matter because you were able to fix it in real time. It's okay. It's one thing. Check this out. I'm going to do it wrong and then I'm going to do it right to see if I can demonstrate this, because this is so excellent. This is so excellent to see your growth happening this way. I'm so incredibly impressed. All right.
Rates on a frozen hayfield.
Okay. So watch this. I'm going to sing it, but I'm going to pretend like I sang it where you started at the beginning of the word field, but I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss the same amount of distance that you did, but I'm not going to fix it. I want to show you the difference.
Rates on a frozen
So here it is. On a frozen, what is that? A frozen, what are the words here?
frozen hayfield.
Frozen hayfield. Thank you. Frozen hayfield. No good, right? It didn't sound right. But if you snap it into tune, if you snap it to the chord like your voice did because you've been practicing your pitch matching with the chords, which is of course found within our Singing Secrets course, 10% off for anyone watching right now. Just click the link in the description. Because you've been practicing that, you now have the ability to snap into that chord. Frozen hayfield. And you fixed it and you blended with this bass. There we go. With this bass field, that your note is within those chords. So if you can hear it and then force your voice to sing within the context of that chord, you win. You just you can't mess up. As long as you fix it before the note ends, you can't mess up. frozen a field. All of a sudden, the mistake that you had is no longer a mistake. That is the beauty about doing the pitch matching in the chords and then your interval practice. Because the interval practice helps you gauge the distance better in the first place, but the pitch matching chords helps you blend your intonation to make sure that you're actually in tune with the chord. So even if you miss by a little bit, as long as you don't stay out of tune, it's not a mistake. You didn't make a mistake here. If you did this live, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I said, wow, that sounded great. No problems. It's only because I'm sitting here listening to it in a studio environment where I can pause, where I can highlight things, where I can solo things, where I can back up and listen to it again. That's the only reason why I caught this. But for all intents and purposes, it was not a mistake. And I think that this right here shows me that you are transitioning from an amateur singer to a professional singer, because it's one thing to listen back to it and say, oh, that was out of tune, it sucked. But it's another thing to notice that you need to make an adjustment in real time, like while you're actually singing the song, and then hear the distance that you are away from your note and then make your voice change in real time. That's it. This right here, that this shows me that your progress is like going through the roof, which is beyond thrilling.
When I do gigs and I hear myself fix up myself, thank God.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's not a mistake unless you leave it there.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what artists do. If they're doing a drawing, if they do something a little bit outside of where they're supposed to be drawing, you know what they do? They make it work into the original concept of the drawing, right? I had a roommate back in the day, and she lived with both me and my wife. It was awesome. She was an art teacher, and something that she said that I will never forget was she was an art teacher for elementary school kids, and what she said was, you have to turn your mistakes into masterpieces. So I love that. I love that. So whenever we're singing a little bit out of tune, that's not a mistake. Turn it into a masterpiece. Because if you just adjust it before the note's over, it's fine. Here, I'm going to intentionally miss it again. Where's that?
Waves and figure eights
On a snow-covered field. You can't mess it up as long as you fix it. In a snow-covered field.
I'm starting to think if I start off a phrase in a song with nailing it with a proper scoop, and I end up with breathing through the end of the last word and either trail it off or do just something at the beginning and the end. It doesn't matter so much what's happening in between. I don't know. That's odd, but the in between comes together fine.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's that you have to start and end on the correct set of train tracks. If you're there, once you've started on those train tracks, once you scoop into the right note and either fall off to the right note or whatever, as long as you start and end on the right note, your voice will most of the time just follow the melody and for the most part be in tune. That's something that pretty much everyone can do really well. If you start on the right train tracks, you're not going to fall off. So
that's like you said, start out, end right, and then speak it like I talk these songs before I actually sing them. You said do that all the time.
You know what? YouTube, what Gary just said, that's the best takeaway. You know what? Right now he's the teacher, not me, because he just said something that I think everyone needs to hear.
I got it from you.
Well, you know what? You said it at the perfect time. The way that you are having this really beautiful tone is you just talked the song before you sang it. Instead of trying to sing the song and then find all the intervals and do all of the song, instead of that, you just talked it. Because whenever you talk some lyrics, it really helps you find that placement that sounds authentic. If I hopped on today's Zoom call and I said, "Hello, Gary, how are you doing today?" You'd be like, "Zack, what's wrong with you? Why are you talking like that?" When we sing, it's the same thing. Absolutely the same thing. It's weird whenever we use a voice that's not our natural speaking voice. So I think in this song, Gary, you've done a really nice job of sounding like you're actually talking. Are there things that we can do to enhance that? Sure. But at the end of the day, we're just talking, right? You just have to You just have to sing the right note at the right time with the right tone, which I think you're doing a great job on all 3 of these counts. So let's keep moving. This is excellent. I didn't mean to spend so long on that snow-covered field, but I thought it was worth parking on for a minute.
So baby, slip your coat
Oh,
on.
I love the down chorus here. That's cool.
What you say we go for a low dash and down a snow-covered road, snuggled up beside me in my red Chevrolet.
Gary, this is like top tier tone. Like I hear just speech-like tone. I don't hear any weirdness of vowels. Snow-covered. It's not that. Snow-covered. It just sounds like you're talking it. This is beautiful tone.
Why we go riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh.
Yeah.
Ho, 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 hey, 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 riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh. Ho, 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 hey, hey, hey,
Hey, hey, hey. Yeah.
riding in my 400 horsepower sleigh.
My 400 horsepower sleigh.
Yeah, ho, 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 hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, I would just say watching the third note of all of these as far as your intonation. Let me take a look here.
A little flash, hey, hey, hey.
Not quite that high. Let me see if I can show you. So we've got ho ho ho, right? Hey hey. By the way, the last note that you're singing is an E, and the chord is A. I just want to show you that what I put in this course is literally like the things that you do in real music. Check this out. Hey is the note. Check this out. Let's go ahead and do the audio quality so you can see my little Easter egg. Here we go. Hey, look at that. Na. You are singing an E, and E is the 5th of an A major chord. That's literally what you were just singing on. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, hey. Oops, sorry. Hey. It was literally the exact same thing. So when you do the Singing Secrets course exercises, these are things that you find in real songs. So and because of the work that you've done, I'm assuming that any time that we are a little bit out of tune, every time that you do the interval training practice and the pitch matching with the chords in the Singing Secrets course here, what happens is that you will get just a little bit better. So instead of me saying, okay, Gary, let's do it again, but do it better, right? Like that's not feedback. That's just me saying do it better, but that's not actually giving you a way of doing it. The Singing Secrets course does that because it lets you practice that skill outside of the song to where you don't have the tempo, you don't have the words, you just have the skill. And then you can build up that skill so when it comes time to do it in a song, you can already just jump right in and just do it correctly from the first time because you've already built up that skill to help you. So let me listen to the rest of the song real quick.
Ho, 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 hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, I want to hit that ho ho ho, making sure that we're nice and in tune. Ho ho ho. Can we try that?
Ho, ho.
Yeah, that's right. Way better. 100%. Hey hey hey. Fun.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, let's go. Hey, look at that. So you sang a really high note. I know it was kind of like spoken and shouted, but it was a shouty tone. But look what it wasn't. It was not a shouty volume. I love that. And that just goes to show, hold up, our singer distinctions. Tone, where is it? Tone and volume are not the same thing, right? So if my wife says if I ask my wife, hey, what time do you want to go to dinner? And then she responds, let's go at 6 p.m. And then I say, what? She's got 2 options. One, she can change her volume and say, yeah, let's go at 6 p.m. a little bit physically louder, or she can change her tone. I said, let's go at 6 p.m. I wouldn't blame her for the second one. That probably happens on a daily basis, and fair enough. She's probably tired of me asking what every 5 minutes, but anyway, maybe I should just when I ask a question, maybe I should just go into a room where I can actually hear it. That's my bad. But anyway, jokes aside, you can see the difference between tone and volume. I think that your tone sounds extremely powerful here. And I think it sounds heavy and I think it sounds yelly, but guess what? You're not yelling. You're literally just having a really fun, aggressive tone.
Oh, hey, hey, hey. Come on, let's go.
Perfect. Flawless.
Ho, ho, ho! Hey, hey, hey!
400 horsepower whatever.
I don't like those endings, but anyway,
Oh
you know,
gosh, so
if
much
your
fun.
listeners wanted to get a kick, they ought to ask you to play a track for me that you did when you first met me.
Oh, true. You know, maybe we
And
should
then
do
they say,
that at some
do
point.
that and say, this is what happens when you pay attention around here.
Oh gosh. Well, that would be a kind of a fun experiment. Maybe what I'll do is I'll maybe we can clip one of our old sessions and then one of our most recent sessions, and then
Yeah.
I'll just splice them into like a little YouTube short. That way, people can just see the transformation right then and there. So, Gary, thank you so much. You did a great
I'll see
job
ya.
as always. Have an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you very soon.
Take care.
Yes, sir. See ya. Hi, YouTube. Okay, let me see if I can turn off the Zoom window capture. There we go. Hi, YouTube. Do we have any questions? Because I have a couple minutes before I'm going to be starting my next session here with Mr. Jack. Does anyone have any questions? Let me see if I can bring up the comments. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so great job to Gary. And then again, if anyone would like to purchase the Singing Secrets course, which was used several times throughout literally just this lesson alone, and we can see how it is directly applied to Mr. Gary's singing, and you can see the improvements that were made, that is our goal. So if you have any questions, I'll be around for probably another 20-30 seconds. I'll answer them live on stream, and then afterwards, I'll be back in about 10 minutes, maybe a little less. So great job today from Gary. And okay, we'll go ahead and cut the stream for right now. We'll be back shortly. Thank you so much, YouTube. You guys rock.